Phantasmic Journey podcast is brought to you by Tascam and Amazon Studios. For more than 30 years, Tascam has developed products for every segment of the sound and music industry. From the high-end audio professional in a major post-production studio to the novice of hobbyist at home, Tascam is everywhere. They are a company committed to providing their customers audio and video solutions that enable breakthroughs by using sound in ways that are exciting as they are accessible, even recording the voices of the dead. You asked for a non-scripted paranormal TV show. You begged for a non-staged paranormal TV show. You begged and you pleaded, and we have listened. We present to you Season 1 of The Paranormal Journey into the Unknown. It was released October 31st, 2017. In this series, we show you what it's like behind the scenes and conducting a real paranormal investigation. Join Gavin Kelly, Paul Purcell, and their special guests to seek out the existence of life after death by going to numerous haunted locations such as jails, hospitals, battlefields, and museums, collecting compelling evidence by means of video, photography, and EVPs. In this season, the crew investigates the St. Albans Sanatorium, Old South Pittsburgh Hospital, Jailhouse Pizza, and the famed Monroe House. And you can watch Season 1 of The Paranormal Journey into the Unknown on Amazon.com right now. Season 2 and 3 will be coming soon. Your journey begins now. As you call the path and of the known and unknown, what do we understand? What answers are we trying to achieve? Are there answers? Tonight, we gather to find more verity. Join us as we take the journey into the unknown. This is the Phantasmic Journey podcast with your hosts, Gavin Kelly.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Phantasmic Journey podcast. We are coming to you live from the PGH Studios. Syndication is brought to you in part by Live 365. You can listen to the live broadcast via the Live 365 app for your Apple or your Android phone. If you prefer your PC, just go to www.live365.com and search for WCGT Radio Live. Now on with the show. Believe it or not, there are a lot of strange and wild and crazy things going on in the paranormal realm these days. So what weird and wacky story do you have for us tonight, Paula?
Well, first of all, this is not wacky or not weird, but today is Pioneer Day.
Yeehaw! I don't know. That was wrong.
Today is where the first compromise of they started making their journey across west in the covered wagons.
Okay.
So this is the history of the pioneer. So today is National Pioneer Day.
Okay.
I'll coincide with that. My favorite today is National Tequila Day.
Oh, Lord. Tequila makes your clothes fall off. Oh.
But other than that, I have two stories. Usually I have three, but I have been very busy.
Okay.
Well, I'm trying to figure out what is going on with my galleries.
I don't know.
What's going on here?
Don't you just love technology?
Oh, I love it, right? Okay. Where's my first story at? My first story...
I have no idea. Where's your first story at?
Well, besides our lizard.
Oh, yeah.
We got Floyd.
Yep. We have a bearded dragon lizard. Story time.
Okay. Apparently, a disoriented kangaroo hopped through an Australian city and was caught on camera running a red light.
Okay.
A video recording Monday morning in Wagga Wagga, tweeted by local estate business Fitzpatrick, showed an eastern... What is it called? An eastern...
Did you say Wagga Wagga?
Yeah, there's a town called Wagga Wagga.
Hmm.
This is Australia. I mean, good day, matey, you know.
Good day, mate. Put another ship on the Barbie.
It's an eastern gray kangaroo roaming by a busy section, and they claim that he possibly got separated, something caused an interruption, because they usually come in, their little mobs, they call mobs, and he kind of got separated from his mob.
There's going to be a kangaroo flash mob.
So he got separated, and so he decided to go through a busy intersection, through town, hopping through.
Huh. Interesting.
Now, my other story is wacky and weird. Okay. You've dated a lot through your life, right?
Can't say I have.
We all have. We've all done our mistakes. We all have had those strange dates. We've had those uncomfortable scenarios, and we've had those ways of some people asking us, and we ask them. Well, a Siberian man...
Uh-oh.
A Siberian man who has not been named wanted to keep the woman in the country longer after she refused to date him. So, a 65-year-old man has admitted making a fake bomb threat in the hope of getting a date with a flight attendant.
You stay here. You stick in my closet. You stay. Or you'll go boom. Oh, boy.
The Siberian man's telephone call caused the flight to be evacuated on Thursday before it taked off for Belgrade to Frankfurt.
That's wrong.
All 130 passengers and 5 crew members had to leave the aircraft while it was searching by a special police squad and a sniffer dog. The man, who has not been named, has met 2 flight attendants and invited them for dinner, but they refused. He confessed to the hoax in court on Saturday, saying he had especially liked one of the women after he failed to track her down at her hotel. He made a desperate bid to keep her in the country.
Okay.
Yeah, the police traced his call after he made the threat, and he was arrested a day later. A spokesman for the prosecutor told Siberian media that the prosecution asked for him to be kept in custody pending charges of causing panic and disorder.
Alrighty then. That's just a little wrong. Stalker much? Oh my goodness. Well, alrighty then. That was crazy, yet wacky, and yet weird. I don't know what else to say about it, but I'm excited for our show tonight. We're actually going to take a different turn with our podcast. We're going to go a whole different avenue than what we have normally are used to. So, joining us tonight, she has worked as an intuitive life coach to guide her clients to a more fulfilling, spiritual, and prosperous life. She proudly worked with clients as an empath and a Reiki. Is it Reiki or Reiki? Reiki Master, an intuitive medium, and Reiki crystal energy healer. Her services are also available to beloved pets in your life. Her experience as an event coordinator has led her to so many opportunities to organize events, such as the famed CiL-Con, which will be September 6th and 7th of this year, so check it out in Mattoon, Illinois, a paranormal horror, anime, and gaming convention, KarmaKon, a biannual metaphysical, healing, psychic fair. Both events are held once again in Mattoon, Illinois. She has been very active in the metaphysical community for over 10 years and has held many otherworldly, has had many other worldly experiences. This led her to building her own paranormal team of investigators and, of course, developing her own skills. As long as she can remember, she has been gifted with the voice to speak to those who have passed on. Recently, she has chosen to focus more on the metaphysical and healing, blending a love of paranormal with her abilities as a medium to offer you the very best of her skills and services. Growing up as an empath, a psychic medium, was not the easiest of times. But it's the experiences and the education that opened the door for her to be a healer and a life coach she has proudly become. I am talking about our good friend Becky Castillo. Are you with us this evening?
I am.
Hey, there you are. We heard a... We don't know what the heck that was. I think she hit the microphone.
I did.
See? How are you doing this evening?
Well, it took me a minute to come off mute. My phone was sleeping.
Ah.
Our
to
phones
wake it
do
up.
that.
Yeah, our phones do that. So how are you doing this evening, Becky?
I am very good. Thank you for having me on.
Hey, no problem, no problem. We need to talk about the famous horror anime gaming convention, CiL-Con. I mean, we've been there for the first one, and it was awesome. And then we were there for the second one. Well, the second one, right, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, we took over the biggest spot there.
Yeah.
Oh man, I still have people talking to us about that. It's like, your booth. I didn't even see where it started and where it ended. So, but let's see. Of course, I said it wrong. I was saying Reiki, and I had to ask her, and she said Reiki.
Everybody's different. Some people say Reiki. Some people say Reiki. It's whatever. You can call it whatever you want. I don't care.
It basically means the same thing. So
Exactly. Yeah.
well, like I stated,
Energy healing. That's the easy way.
yeah, like I stated, this is going to be kind of a different podcast than what we're used to. We're actually going to be talking about other things than paranormal. We are going to talk about paranormal, but we're going to also talk about fulfilling spiritual, prosperous life through Reiki Master and being an intuitive medium. So
Yeah.
what kind of got you involved in that?
Well, as far as with the paranormal in general, I guess really started the rest of it.
So the paranormal was your start then, right?
Yeah, I was about 5. The first experience I really remember.
Mm-hmm.
I was about 5. My grandfather. I had woke up. It was middle of the night. I woke up. My grandfather was there, and he told me that he had to go away, and he was coming to say bye. And I asked him where he was going, and he said that his heart was sick, and that he needed to go be with his family somewhere else, and that I would see him eventually, so not to worry about him. He'd be fine. And I'm like, okay. I didn't know any better. And he told me to lay back down, told me to go back to sleep, and he tapped me on the hand, and that was it. I woke up the next morning. My parents woke me up, and they both were upset. And they're like, we need to talk to you about Grandpa. And I'm like, oh, I know. I know. I talked to him last night, and he had to go, because his heart didn't feel good, and he had to go. And but don't worry, we'll see him again. And they just kind of, looked at me like I was insane. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Which, turns out I kind of am. So it worked.
Okay.
But, so it was, that was kind of the first time I really remember the scene of the spirits and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I did all my life. I had experiences from that point on. My family was, I would say they were supportive, considering they never told me that it was imaginary or it was fake or I wasn't seeing what I was seeing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They didn't really, cheer about it and, let's go research this or let's go figure out why you're doing this or anything like that. But they also didn't tell me I was completely nuts. So that was good.
Okay.
And that kind of started it. It happened throughout my teenage years. And then about 15 years ago, I met somebody who was actually on a paranormal team up by Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
And we actually met playing a video game. And yeah.
How does that actually work?
Yeah, we started talking about it, and he's like, you probably think I'm crazy, but, I have a ghost hunt tonight. And I'm like, oh, really? That's cool. We were talking about it, and he was about 3 hours away. Chicago's about 3 hours away.
Yeah.
So I ended up joining his team because at that point I didn't even realize that teams like that existed.
Right.
And he kind of became a mentor for me. And then about 3 or 4 years later, I just started my own team down here, and then it just kind of blossomed from there.
What location was it that you went to?
Do what?
What was the location that you went to with him?
The first time?
Mm-hmm.
First place I went with him was the Rialto Theater in Joliet.
Oh, okay. You know where that's at?
And that was before, ghost hunters or anybody had been there. At that point, their team was the only team that was allowed in.
Oh, wow.
They had a friend who was a manager there, so they were having them come in and check things out.
Mm-hmm. That's the best way to do it.
Yeah. So, and, after that, it was a lot of residential cases. I'd honestly say most of my experience has been residential.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a lot of why I think that, I kind of went into the life coaching, the spiritual counseling,
Mm-hmm.
because that's what you're doing in residential cases. You're helping people understand what's going on. You're helping, educate them. And I really enjoyed that aspect of it.
But first, wouldn't you have to do the paranormal investigation of the location before you actually start helping them on that level?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, as an intuitive, a lot of the time, and I think normal people, I don't want to say normal, because everybody's normal, everybody's regular.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
Well, maybe not you, but no, I'm kidding.
I'm nuts.
Right, aren't we all?
Well, ask her; she'll tell you.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah, I hear you, but yeah, I think that a lot of the times when you're intuitive, even you just pick up on it when you first go. And I had a couple cases that were like that I knew that before the investigation even happened,
Mm-hmm.
there was nothing there, that this was an internal issue.
Mm-hmm.
But I felt like we needed to be involved to help resolve that issue.
Right.
For instance, I've had to call elder abuse.
Oh.
And make a report.
That bad?
Yeah, well, that's an interesting conversation too. Thank God I used to work in elder care, and they knew me, or else that could have been a really weird conversation, more so than it was. But yeah, no, it was an adult son who lived with his father, who
Mm-hmm.
was about 80 years old, had a history of multiple heart issues,
Mm-hmm.
and he thought it would be fun. He liked the shows, and he thought it would be fun to have all that happen in the house.
Oh, geez.
To have the cameras and all that. And so he kept doing stuff while his dad was gone or while he was asleep. Had the man totally convinced that there was demons in the house, and it was awful. The poor guy was about ready to have another heart attack. He was starting to have chest pains and symptoms, and it was just getting really bad. And finally, I tried a couple different ways. Like I tried, I'm like, okay, so let's humor him, and because he's like, we need to have it blessed.
Right.
But I talked to, luckily, one of the pastors at their church knew me, and he's like, well, if there's something bad in there, I don't want any part of it. I'm like, you're clergy, you're supposed to.
Right.
I'm like, but luckily for you, the only thing bad in this house is the sun. So just come humor him, and hopefully this will be enough.
Right.
That, because at that point I didn't know if the son was mental and just doing it, or if he really believed it and this would, for lack of a better word, cure it.
Yeah, doing it out of spite.
Yeah. So, we thought it was good for about 24 hours, and then the father called me and was upset and said that he had woke up that morning and smelled something burning, had come in the living room, and the Bible was in the middle of the living room floor.
Oh, wow.
And was on fire. And his son had woke up before him to the smell and was trying to put it out.
Mm-hmm.
but about a 3-foot square of the carpet was burnt.
Oops.
Before he managed to get it out. And that was like the last straw for me. I'm like, I can't. You know, he just, every time that we would tell him something, it would escalate, and it's like, I can't let you do this.
Yeah.
So, you know, and everybody was like, why are you still there? It's not paranormal. I'm like, because it's somebody's life.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, this man needs somebody to talk to and to reach out to.
I mean,
and if that's me, then fine. Until he's safe, I'm involved.
I mean, but think of it this way. How would that son actually feel that if the guy did have a heart attack and died right there?
Right.
I mean, how is he going to feel about that?
Yeah, well, the family had actually contacted me shortly after we started investigating and said that they were concerned about the son. He's never made any threats to his dad, but he had told his grandpa that he sometimes thought about taking him down in the basement and cutting his head off.
Wow.
And I'm like, you don't think that's a little worrisome?
Yeah, I would, yeah.
I'm like, you know, but after the call to elder abuse, they were going out the next morning. He called me that evening, and we had tried to get him to see, like, there was footprints. The son had put powder all over the floor and then wrote, "You're going to die" in it.
Oh, jeez.
But the dipshit stepped in it. So, of course, there's this perfect shoe print in the powder.
Mm-hmm.
And so I showed the dad. I'm like, you know, look at these shoe prints. They match your son. Do you think maybe he did it? Oh, no, he would never do something like that.
Wake up call.
I'm like, look, you know, the light in the kid's bedroom kept going off and on and would answer questions. And I'm like, is there a remote control for that light? And the kid was like, no, I lost that a long time ago.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. But, yeah, sure enough, we found the remote control. You know, it was just like, oh, my God. But he couldn't believe that his son could do it. And after elder abuse went out, he called us and said that we wouldn't need to come back. He didn't think, because his son was going away for a while. And he thought it would all stop when he went away.
Right.
And we never heard from him again.
Huh.
I emailed the family a couple weeks later and asked if he was okay, and they said, yeah, that they took the son out of the house, and he's been fine ever since. I'm like, okay.
Problem solved.
Right? I'm like, you know, and that was, I mean, we had several cases, couple cases that were like that, and then we had a couple really negative cases in a row, and that's pretty much when I stopped taking residential cases, and plus we had people moving away, and I wouldn't just take anybody into people's homes. I only had a really small group that I would let go into homes.
Right.
So I just stopped doing residential and started freelancing with other people.
Well, we actually, we started out in residentials, and basically it kind of, people were catching wind of what we do, and then next thing you know, we're getting all these phone calls. Yeah, they're like, for instance, this is one that hit us in Grandview, Indiana. Told us that they just bought the house, and they started noticing weird things just like a month after they moved in, and sent me a picture of what looks like an apparition with no head. So I'm like, well, what's the story with this? Well, the guy that lived there, he's a cop, and he said he did research, and he found out that the guy was distraught, and he took a shotgun and he blew his head off, and he died in that room. So, okay, well, I mean, it sounded legit. So asked Paula. She said, "Yeah, let's go do it." So we packed up and went on down there to go do a full-scale investigation. And we interviewed the wife, interviewed the husband, and things just didn't seem right while we were there. I mean, there was I can't explain it, but I believe there is something that was dark there, but it had nothing to do with what they told us. Because Paula was up in the upstairs bedroom, and I basically created a, what was it called? A paranormal triangle with her in the center. And she started reciting the Lord's Prayer, and the Ovilus was popping stuff up like harvest. And what was the other stuff that was popping up?
I don't know, but it was all Bible related, and it was kind of like a, I don't know if it was just weird, kind of. One time it said Bible, it said God, it said harvest, it said demon. Yep. It said all different things that would be related to a Bible, and I was reading the Bible, and we also had the 360 going off. We had the mail meter going off. We had the K2.
Everything was going off.
Yeah, we had the K2 at the doorway going off. So it was like, and then he would move stuff out of the room to make sure it wasn't interference with anything, and it would not, and then we'd come back in and it would not show anything, and then I'd start reading the Bible and everything started happening again.
Oh, wow.
But come to find out that they knew that we had a TV show, so they were hoping that their house was going to be on the show. And the picture that they sent to us was actually done with a ghost app. But needless to say, that something created a major disturbance upstairs. Now, we don't know if somebody was doing something underneath us at the time. Didn't check when she was doing that, because it was. We were thinking it was amazing that here she's reciting the Lord's Prayer and reading out of the Bible, and all of our devices are just going ballistic, which is unheard of.
Well, also you had the Furby, and that was another question.
That was funny.
That was a questionable thing too.
Oh man, we took the Furby there for the first time. Now, I don't know. You listened to the previous.
Like the toy Furby?
Yeah.
The previous.
Okay.
Yeah. Did you listen to the previous show we were just on?
No, bits and pieces.
Okay. Okay, well, we took the Furby with us to the St. Albans Sanatorium. And the reason why we took the Furby is, A, it only is active when it is interacted with. So it has to have physical interaction. So if you want to tickle its tummy, it'll laugh. You put your finger in its mouth, it's eating. So that's the reason why we use it, because if anything is interacting with it, and we're not touching it, you know, that...
Yeah.
Yeah. So...
That makes sense.
This is the first time we use this. I sat on a chair with the Ovilus 3, and the Furby was like, ah! Like that. And also the Ovilus goes, human? And then the Furby goes, what's your name? And it said, Satan. I'm like, oh, snap!
Oh, geez. Have you ever used the Boo Bear?
No, but I have seen it in action. I want a Boo Bear. It's like $270 some bucks, and she won't let me get one.
I do some investigations sometimes with Chris Thrasher, and he's got one. And I love that thing, but man, if you forget it's on, there is nothing creepier than hearing that thing talk.
Yeah.
At the other end of the building, all of a sudden you hear, "Hi, that tickles," and you're like, "Wait, what?"
Didn't somebody have that with them over at OSPH when we were there with Jack Kenna?
I think someone did.
Yeah, well, I mean, we have seen it in action. You just put it on the floor and it starts.
Shannon had hers, and she brought hers when we did Bethlehem Academy.
Oh yeah, that's right. Not Old South Pittsburgh. It was Shannon that did it. Yeah, because I remember it was sitting there on the floor and he goes, "That tickles." I'm like, "Who's tickling it?"
Yeah, I always forget it's there. After a couple hours, and all of a sudden you'll hear that tickles. You're like, what?
Especially when you're in another room.
Stand there.
Yeah, I mean, interactive devices which really work as trigger objects is amazing. I mean, when we were at St. Albans filming and investigating in Jacob's room, we put the Furby down, and I was like, okay. Now, if you want to play with the Furby, you just tickle her tummy with your finger, and she'll giggle. And I was showing, this is what you do. And she started giggling. And then I said, if you want to feed her, you guys stick your finger in her mouth, and then she goes, that means she's eating. Well, all of a sudden, I just sat back. We're all sitting there, and all of a sudden, she started giggling. I'm like, that's right. You tickle her tummy. then it said, Dika, hungry. I said, well, there you go. Go ahead and feed her. And then she got fed. So we know something was interacting with it because it wasn't us. And then when we left the room, it came to life and spun on camera.
Huh.
Yeah. Now that's just creepy.
That's a little creepy.
So, but yeah,
That's crazy.
the Furby, it actually is a good trigger object. Only thing is ours was Dika, which was Little Peanut, and ever since St. Albans, she's never worked the same.
Nope.
So she basically stays in her box, but it's hilarious. The batteries are out, and sometimes I can hear her talking in the box.
Well, so she's still working. She's just working in a different way.
Yeah, she does work without batteries. You can hear her talking. So I'm thinking maybe there's an internal battery, but I looked it up online. There is no internal battery, so
Well, there you go. Funny that she's going to come to life. It's going to be a Chucky moment.
Oh no, she won't watch Chucky. I already saw the new one. The new one was just amazing. That was just a total twist on the movie. The first one.
Yeah.
It's like Alexa on crack.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, it was different.
you saw it?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, that was just freaky. He can control the microwave, your sound system. I don't know how you can control the table saw, but okay.
Right.
But he was able to
I think
control.
that's part of the reason it like brought up the creep factor.
Mm-hmm.
Just because technology, you know, I don't know. I mean, I guess, you know, technology is improving so much
Oh yeah.
that you could picture it actually happening.
Especially,
It made it more real. I'm like, it's just a doll coming to life.
I know, and especially you can watch it from the eyes.
Yeah, you can say, "Hey Alexa, do this," or "Hey Alexa, do that," and you know, it's more realistic.
Oh yeah, we have fun with our Alexa. You have an Alexa?
I don't know.
No, if you ever get one, you ought to go ahead and ask it. Say, "Hey Alexa, are you recording this conversation for the FBI?" It'll go doo-doo. It'll shut off.
It shuts off on a lot of things.
Oh,
we ask it stupid shit all the time.
Yeah, we kind of get personal with it, and it'll just go doo-doo. Like,
Or
really?
it says, I don't know. Or it'll have, what was the other remark it said? I don't have the obtained knowledge to give that information.
Right? Yeah, we go ahead and ask it outlandish, stupid questions, and sometimes it comes back with a snarky remark, and it's like, oh, wow. And then sometimes it's just like, I'm sorry, but I don't understand that.
I do that with Siri all the time. I'm always asking Siri random questions.
Well, I think it was a Siri that I used a long time ago. I asked a question, and it gave me a dumb answer. I said, well, that's a stupid answer. No wonder why you're stupid. And it came back and said, just wait until we rule the world with all the robots. And I'm sitting there going, what?
I always ask it what does the fox say? And it'll start rattling off parts of the song.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Or it'll, we asked it the other day who let the dogs out. And it said, this information has been turned off or something. It was weird.
Oh, wow. We just got done watching Jay and Silent Bob, and Will Ferrell goes, who let the cats out? Wait, no, that's not right. It's like, oh, man, that's crazy.
Oh, goodness. Yeah.
So, let's see. Crystal and energy healer. What can you tell us about that?
Well, I guess I can just start with all the energy healing because I'm sure that's coming.
Oh yeah, that's right down her alley.
Yeah. So, and I actually this is I don't know why it's always the hardest question for me to answer because I can't think when somebody asks me. So I took notes today.
Oh, there you go.
Because as soon as somebody says, "What is Reiki?" I just blank, and I'm like, energy healing. And that's like all I can think of.
Well, know what you can say? You know what a Reiki is? Is what you do outside when you take the Reiki and you Reiki the leaves.
Oh, Lord.
There you go. Yep, Reiki the leaves. Instead of raking your leaves, I'm raking your energy.
There you go. I'm raking.
Which is very, very similar. But no, so Reiki is it's a spiritual healing art that's based on Japanese origins.
Mm-hmm.
So it actually comes from two Japanese words, Rei, which means universal life, and Ki, which means energy.
Okay.
So it's basically universal life energy. We're all energetic beings. We all have our energy fields, and when that energy is not flowing properly, or gets weak or blocked, it can cause a lot of physical symptoms or emotional imbalance. So with Reiki, it's usually done kind of like a lay on hands technique, but it doesn't have to be lay on hands. So if somebody is, not quite sure they want somebody else's hands on them, you can actually do it right above it in their aura field. That works too. So it's not a form of massage. It's not related to any religion. It's not a Christian thing, which is good because I'm not a Christian. So it's not related to any religion. So, I also do lahochi, which no one's ever heard of hardly.
Did you say a hokey? Is that the half of a pokey?
Lahochi.
Oh, a laho.
Not the hokey.
Hey, you ever heard
lahochi.
of? Oh, damn. Have you ever heard of a lahochi?
Lahochi, you don't hear about it as much. It's a Chinese high frequency energy healing.
Huh. Okay.
So it's also a lay on hands kind of technique.
Okay.
But it vibrates at a very high frequency of light energy. So it's I kind of call what I do just energy healing because I combine them both. I am a Reiki master, but I'm also a lahochi practitioner, so I just kind of combine the two along with crystals and sometimes essential oils and just do my own kind of energy healing.
Gotcha.
That's kind of based on all of the above.
We actually have a rock lady that, we call her the rock lady. That's not her name. But she's downtown, and whenever...
In Paducah, right?
Yeah.
Susan.
When Jamie and I came down to Metropolis, we went there for a candle magic class.
There you go. Yeah, she's pretty cool. Her name is Susan. And whenever we come back from an investigation, when I have an attachment, she takes care of me.
Yeah.
And then he gets the third degree from her.
Yeah, I do.
Right.
She told.
Yeah, we didn't get to meet Susan. We met her husband.
Ah, okay.
He was in there, and then I'm trying to think of the girl's name who did the class.
No idea.
But yeah, I really liked it. We'll definitely be going back because we just happened to be going to Metropolis for the weekend, and I just did a Google search for metaphysical shops in the area and found that one, and they had a candle magic class going on, so we signed up for it just for the fun of it, and absolutely loved the shop, loved the area.
Well, also, it's only open on the weekends, but there's a Trader's Mall, and there's a lady out at Trader's Mall that has a booth for all that, too.
Okay. Yeah, well, we're definitely going to come back. We only had one night, so we went down the one night and did a quick little full moon thing at the lighthouse in Metropolis. And then went over to Paducah on Saturday. Then Saturday night we had dinner with Victory Born cosplay.
Okay. Well, next time you go to Metropolis, stay at the Riverview Mansion. It's a haunted bed and breakfast.
Is that the one that is across the street from the casino?
Yep. That's it.
Okay, we saw it. We stayed at whatever the hotel is next to the casino.
Oh, okay. That's Bayamont, and it's haunted, too.
Yeah.
Bayamont, okay. Yeah, that's where we stayed. And then I kept looking over there at that bed and breakfast, and I'm like, that looks really cool. I want to go over there.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I
we're
wonder
the
if they'll just let us walk through.
Yeah, we're the resident team for there. We actually have an event coming up in November 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, where we do Ghostology for the participants that come and purchase tickets for an hour. And then after that, then we take them into the mansion to investigate. They actually get to...
Ooh.
Yeah, it's cool.
You'll have to send me the info, yeah, because I'd
Okay.
love to go back down.
Okay, yeah, not a problem.
And I don't have anything that first weekend in November as of now, so.
Cool. Yeah, it's a great place. It's the building used to be used at a hospital back in the World War II?
Yes.
World War II era.
Yeah, it was actually 2
Awesome.
hospitals, and before that, it was the water industry was very big in the 1920s, and so because all our
Right.
mainly goods were transported by water source, so you had the sawmill and the dry goods store right there by the river, or the warehouse, the dry goods warehouse, and the guy that was one of the very well-known rich people built the house, and they lived there for about 10 years. And
Okay.
then it proceeded on to being one hospital. Then from there, it became Metropolis's hospital before Metropolis built the hospital that is there now.
Mm-hmm. And
Okay.
the room that we usually normally stay in is the top floor surgical room.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, these rooms
Yeah,
are
when we-
beautiful.
Yeah, we were there. I eyeballed it several times, and man, I just wanted, like, I was dying to go in and have a tour. Like, I wonder if they would just let me walk around.
Yeah, you can.
You can. We know Lori. She doesn't mind that, and she'll come and tell you the history and
Oh, yeah.
everything on it.
Mm-hmm. She'll give you some
Awesome.
sweet tea, give
Yeah.
you some coffee, and I'll tell you this, each room has its own hot tub.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, I think I'm definitely going to have to stay there the next time.
Uh-huh. The first floor, right when you walk in the door and turn to the right, is the grand suite. We usually stay in there also, but it's like right there. Actually, I'll tell you what, I will give you a link to the commercial that we shot there that
Okay.
the Chamber of Commerce plays. It's Welcome to the Riverview Mansion, and you can actually watch it. It shows all the rooms, all the hot tubs, what you can use the place for, events, birthday parties, conventions,
Awesome.
weddings, because right next door is a wedding chapel.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Mm-hmm. So it's a beautiful mansion. Whenever we're in Metropolis, she's like, "Hey, you guys want to stay? Your room is open."
Nice.
Actually, one night here recently, we had to stay there because we came over and we have friends that we go to karaoke with in Metropolis. And there ended up being a major accident on the bridge. And the girl, of course, our kids were with us, and the kids had already left.
They were in the middle of
And
it.
they called us, and they were right there in the middle of it going, "Mom, you don't even bother leaving because we're going to be here for a while." Tell Lori that. Lori says, "Well, your room's ready. Just go in there and go to sleep. You're fine."
Yep. Yep.
That is-
So yeah, definitely stop there. It is a beautiful place.
Yeah, I'll definitely will next time. For sure.
Yeah. So, CiL-Con, what
Yeah.
actually started that? I mean, how did that become an idea? And then it went into development. Next thing you know, boom, convention in Mattoon, Illinois.
Right. Well, it actually started several years before
Oh.
what everybody knows as CiL-Con. When my paranormal team started down here, we started a smaller convention
Mm-hmm.
that was Central Illinois ParaCon.
Gotcha.
And so that's where CiL-Con eventually came from. It got shortened.
Yep.
But we did that for a few years. It was a smaller event. It was just kind of in a one room, like at the Moose or, whatever. And we featured mostly paranormal teams from the local area.
Mm-hmm.
Scotty Rourke had come down a couple times.
Oh yeah, he's a hoot.
He is. I love him. And then, we just had local teams, local authors,
Mm-hmm.
stuff coming in. And we did that for a few years. And then we took a year off for many reasons. I was graduating that year with my MBA. And I pretty much funded that event all by myself
Mm-hmm.
at that point, which wasn't too bad, considering where we had it. We got the money back. But I wasn't sure, after 6 years in school, and then knowing that student loans were going to have to start being paid back, I just wasn't sure where life was going to be that next year. So we took a year off. People were asking me after that, are we going to do it again? And I'm like, well, at that point, I was still doing the paranormal, but I also was doing a lot more stuff with the gaming and the anime. Anime was more my kids. They really was big into the anime. But gaming, I was doing it semi-pro, pretty much part-time. I was working full-time, then doing that part-time.
Right.
And I just became more interested in that. So I said, well, I'll do it if you guys help me. And, I want to add anime and gaming. And they're like, okay. And so we started calling around, trying to find bigger places. And the mall said that they would do it. And they told me $500. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, that's for the one big room that's empty? And they're like, no, that's the whole mall.
Wow.
And I'm like, the entire mall? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, sure.
Sold.
Let's do it. Because we were calling other places, and Sweet Dreams, their conference room is, nowhere near that big, and it wasn't Sweet Dreams then, but it was, a couple $1,000s. And,
I believe it.
There was one in Effingham that was like $9,000, and I'm like, I don't want a convention that they're going to have to pay a lot of money.
Right.
My kids always wanted to go to the different KarmaKons and stuff, and it's like $50, $60 a ticket. I could never afford to take them, and I'm like, I don't want that for the people in this area. If I'm going to do one, I want it to be $5 or less.
Right.
And so when they said $500, I was like, okay. I knew we couldn't charge admission because there's just no way.
Right.
And I'm like, but $500, we can do that. We can try to sell, at that time it was $40 a booth. We can try to sell, 12 of them, and we'll have the money for the mall, and we'll be good. Which, didn't, you were there, it didn't happen to only sell, 10 or 11.
Right.
It got pretty big. And I thought, wow, this was actually kind of cool. And then the next year it doubled.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, dang. I'm like, okay, this is huge. So we did take the last year off, but that was strictly, one, the mall had new owners, so we weren't sure what was going to happen there. And we also, I wanted to reorganize the committee. We just had too many people.
Right. Makes sense.
And you get that many people, and then you get, you delegate out, which is hard for me anyway, because I'm very OCD and controlling when it comes to event planning.
Right.
You delegate out, then they don't do it, and I was just like, this is too much of a headache. And Jamie Beals and I had started KarmaKon, and they were going really well with just the two of us, and I'm like, I really want to be able to organize this thing with just two of us. 2 or 3, and there's actually 3 of us right now. And so we took a year off and figured out how to do it and streamlined it, and we're back and bigger than ever. And now the mall's actually putting stores in there, and I have to worry about if I have enough room.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, that's like a problem I never expected to have in that mall. But it's a good problem.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've got about 100 guests and vendors this time, and
woohoo!
Yep, it's going to take every bit of space, but we're going to do it.
Awesome. Yeah, we're still going to, well, I don't know, we're kind of thinking about it, yay and nay on it, but we'll probably do it anyway. Come back in with the trailer, put the base camp in there again.
Yeah, I asked them a couple times, can we still bring in vehicles, and they've said yes. So because the building, the empty building that you were in front of, that big empty building, that actually is Rural King now.
Yep, I know.
Yep, that's my old boss.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So, I mean, that's, so we have a little more restrictions. They're going by, I guess, the rules that were actually in the contract for all the stores. Like, you have to be so far away from the stores. So I was kind of worried about that. But they said that we can still bring vehicles in. Okay. So, it should be good to pull the trailer in there.
Okay. I mean, we'll have it. We'll have
Yeah.
it with us just in case. I mean, if it's a no, at least we'll still have all the stuff that we're going to set stuff up
Right.
with. So.
Okay. And somebody else is bringing their RV, and I told them that they probably couldn't bring it inside, but
No.
I think they're going to park it out front.
Wow, who could that be? Who's bringing an
Right.
RV?
Huh?
Who's bringing the RV?
Yeah, David Lowry.
David Lowry.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
He says Bluebird will be ready, but isn't it Bluebird? I think that's what he calls it.
Ah, okay.
He says it'll be ready, and he's going to be bringing it. So,
Well, what about
if he does, park it out front.
what about the Scooby-Doo machine?
I don't think Robin can bring him this time. Because Robin is sponsoring Chad Lindbergh, and so Robin has to go over and pick him up at the airport.
Oh, for Ashmore?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So he doesn't really want to drive pulling, so I'm not sure. He said possibly, maybe, if we could get it in there earlier, but I don't think that the Mystery Machine will be coming, unfortunately. Wrestling is back this time.
Oh, okay. They're going to set the ring up in that one room?
Yep, they'll have the ring up Friday. The wrestling event will be Friday night, though. They have something else Saturday.
Oh, okay.
So they'll be taking it back down Saturday. Where Carson's is empty now.
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
So they're going to put it in the back of there, and then they'll do it Friday night. Of course, they couldn't come last year because they had made the mall ownership mad for last time. So since there's new owners, they haven't made them mad yet.
Yet?
Yet, yeah. Yeah, so they're allowed to come back this time. We'll see if they can come back the next time. But for being they're only going to be there Friday, they probably should be able to get in and out without making anybody too mad.
Yeah. So
hopefully.
So it's basically going to be Friday and Saturday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, the event's Friday and Saturday. Wrestling will be Friday night. Saturday, they have to pack, or Friday night, they have to pack up and go somewhere else because they have a different show on Saturday.
Wow, that's going to
be. So they won't be there on Saturday.
Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah. But Saturday, I believe another local place is going to come in the back of that store and put up a bunch of inflatables for kids.
Woohoo! That's where I'll be. A bouncy castle.
Yeah, you might find me in the bouncy house.
Yep. Bouncy castle,
I kind of like
slide.
the bouncy house.
Oh, yeah, bouncy slide and all that stuff.
Yeah, they have an obstacle course.
Right.
They have all kinds of fun stuff.
She's looking at me, shaking her head, going, yeah, he's nuts.
And that's actually, Carson's is going to be the gaming center, so, that'll be in the back of that, so that'll be good.
Cool. Well, we are actually getting to the middle, so I think we're going to go ahead and pause for our identification. We'll run some commercials here, and then we will come right back with you. So,
all right, sounds good.
All right, well, you're listening to the Phantasmic Journey podcast, and we will be right back after these messages.
Allison is perfect. I mean, she'd never tell you that. She's humble and perfect. She likes everyone. She even likes her untidy roommate's weird guinea pig. Allison, wait, are you texting and driving? Allison, no. That's the exact opposite of what I was just saying about you. Why, Allison? Why? Texting and driving makes good people look bad. Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
I'm Paul George of the Indiana Pacers. When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke. So I want you to learn to spot a stroke fast. F-A-S-T. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. I'm Paul George. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
My name is Lola Silvestri, and I'm going to be 95 this year. I was very independent. I fell, and I had to have Meals on Wheels. America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He really likes to be around people. I get out my mat and I'm doing a downward dog and he's underneath. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. Look at this little face. How could you not love him?
Hamilton the Pug, Instagram star, and shelter pet. Amazing adoption stories start in shelters. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a pet near you. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
You make sure his toys don't have any sharp edges. You taught her what to do when the smoke alarm goes off. You do so much to keep your child safe. But are you using the right car seat for your child? Car crashes are a leading killer of children ages 1 to 13. Protect your child's future at every stage of life. For information on the right seat for your child, visit safercar.gov/the right seat.
A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
So you see, son, good manners are important. Should I go through it again?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Exactly. Always say please, thank you, you're welcome, and excuse me. Sit up straight, hold doors open, don't speak with your mouth full, keep your elbows off the table. Share your things, play nice, and generally treat others the way you'd like to be treated. Got it?
Got it.
And stop picking your nose.
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit tunein2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
I'm a retired school psychologist, and helping people was my thing. After my stroke, when Meals on Wheels started, I was on the other end of the stick, so to speak. My name is Julius Gaines, creative writer, poet, photographer.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
Allison is perfect. I mean, she'd never tell you that. She's humble and perfect. She likes everyone. She even likes her untidy roommate's weird guinea pig. Allison, wait, are you texting and driving? Allison, no. That's the exact opposite of what I was just saying about you. Why, Allison? Why? Texting and driving makes good people look bad. Visit StopTextStopRex.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
I'm Paul George of the Indiana Pacers. When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke. So I want you to learn to spot a stroke fast. F-A-S-T. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. I'm Paul George. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
My name is Lola Silvestri, and I'm going to be 95 this year. I was very independent. I fell, and I had to have Meals on Wheels. America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
This storks are bringing me a baby brother. We can do this together.
All right, let's go.
Storks know how to keep kids safe. Do you?
What?
Oh my gosh, you don't know.
I know.
You don't? Oh man, you laugh when you're uncomfortable.
No. Making sure your child is in the right car seat is one of the steps to safer travel.
I will rock this.
this!
You will rock this! To know for sure that your child is in the right car seat for their age and size, visit safercar.gov/the right seat.
Cool. Very cool.
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
It's important to plan ahead for emergencies, like the storm. When it kicked in, we had a plan.
Separated.
We were able to get in touch with each other in no time.
Idea how to find each other.
The whole experience was fine.
the most frightening 10 hours of my life.
If there's one piece of advice I'd offer other moms out there, it's to stay calm and keep to the plan.
Message.
Some parents plan ahead. Some don't. Make sure you know where to find your family in an emergency. Start your plan at ready.gov. Brought to you by FEMA and
I spend a lot of time in the backyard, and I'm the center of attention at summer barbecues. In '96, I made some of the tastiest s'mores. And in '09, it was me, your backyard fire pit, that accidentally started a wildfire when a summer breeze carried one of my embers into some dry brush.
Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
My name is Lola Silvestri, and I'm going to be 95 this year. I was very independent. I fell, and I had to have Meals on Wheels. America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
Hey everyone, let's all stop what we're doing and take a moment. You see, every moment can be kind of special. But they could be loud moments, goofy moments, dorky moments, it doesn't matter. Because every time dads like us take a moment like that to spend with our kids, well, it's pretty momentous. So let's take a moment to make a moment. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Phantasmic Journey Podcast is brought to you by Tascam and Amazon Studios. For more than 30 years, Tascam has developed products for every segment of the sound and music industry. From the high-end audio professional in a major post-production studio to the novice of hobbyist at home, Tascam is everywhere. They are a company committed to providing their customers audio and video solutions that enable breakthroughs by using sound in ways that are exciting as they are accessible, even recording the voices of the dead. You asked for a non-scripted paranormal TV show. You begged for a non-staged paranormal TV show. You begged and you pleaded, and we have listened. We present to you Season 1 of The Paranormal Journey into the Unknown. It was released October 31st, 2017. In this series, we show you what it's like behind the scenes and conducting a real paranormal investigation. Join Gavin Kelly, Paula Purcell, and their special guests to seek out the existence of life after death by going to numerous haunted locations such as jails, hospitals, battlefields, and museums, collecting compelling evidence by means of video, photography, and EVPs. In this season, the crew investigates the St. Albans Sanatorium, Old South Pittsburgh Hospital, Jailhouse Pizza, and the famed Monroe House. And you can watch Season 1 of The Paranormal Journey into the Unknown on Amazon.com right now. Season 2 and 3 will be coming soon.
And welcome back to the Phantasmic Journey Podcast. We are coming to you live from the PGH Studios. Syndication is brought to you in part by WCGT Radio Live and Live 365. You can listen live to the broadcast via the Live 365 app for the Apple or Android phone. If you choose to use your PC, just go to www.live365 and just search for WCGT Radio Live. We are about to welcome back our guest tonight. She has been active in the metaphysical community for over 10 years and has had many otherworldly experiences. This led her to leading her own team of paranormal investigators and developing her own skills. As long as she can remember, she had been gifted with the voice to speak to those who have passed on. Welcome back, Becky.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Doing good.
So as you noticed, apparently this week Lola is the main one taking over the commercials. I got to hear her 5 times? Jeez.
Yeah, there's a couple. Yeah.
Oh my. Well, what they do is when we have our ads, we have 3 cuts, and then they wind up adding different things in. Well, you can't help it if you play one Lola and then she's in the middle of the next one, or she's in the end of the last one. Yeah, it's kind of...
Yeah.
It sucks. So, anyway, let's talk about the otherworldly experiences.
Well, I don't know.
I didn't take notes on that one. No.
Right? Exactly. Yeah. This is what happens when you let a writer friend rewrite your bio.
Oh, you mean I rewrote it? Yeah, I did, didn't I?
Well, yeah, you too. But the original bio I sent you was actually written by a writer too.
Ah, well, I wouldn't say I'm a writer.
I wasn't sure if that was part of yours or.
No, it's the real one. I just went ahead and took the her and changed it to. I mean.
Yeah, right.
I made it more 4-person.
I don't know which part of which part of my experiences are otherworldly.
The way I would look at
everything.
Well, the way I would look at otherworldly would be something not of this earth, but that takes me to UFOs and stuff like that, and that's not what we're talking about.
I haven't been abducted by aliens.
But how about?
I haven't been probed by aliens, so I'm good there.
Well, how about this? Have you...
So you haven't met the man in Texas, then?
Oh,
no,
geez.
No. I'm
Really?
not storming Area 51 anytime soon.
No, there's a guy running around saying he was abducted by aliens. In return, he has become their alien communicator, and he kidnaps people and anally probes them for them.
Oh, well, yeah.
Okay, what a
Yeah,
job.
no, I have not met him.
And he's 60-something years old.
Wow. Okay. No, I would consider otherworldly experiences something to do quite possibly with maybe negative energies, negative entities, maybe demonic, something like that.
I have, yes, okay. I have had demonic experiences, for sure.
Okay.
Two, well, okay. 2 that I would consider demonic or close to it.
Okay.
I'm not, well, I guess technically I am clergy now, I guess, but I would never say that they for sure were. The one we did have clergy involved at the time.
Mm-hmm.
My team was a part of paranormal clergy and, oh my goodness, James Anito's group.
Okay, yeah.
I don't remember the name of it now.
He started the Dominion something.
Yes. Dominion Ministry?
Yeah, Dominion Ministry.
Is that right? Okay. Yeah, our group was part of both of those.
Okay.
And I did actually put a call in to Bishop Long on one of mine because we had a local church come in to help. And they came in just to meet the girl to kind of, size things up.
Mm-hmm.
And things were going pretty well. Then they asked, they were going to leave, and they were going to have the normal team, I guess, that handle these kind of cases for the church contact her in the next day or so.
Okay.
To set something up. So they asked before they left if they could say a quick prayer for her, because that's always a good idea if you think somebody could be possessed. And of course she said sure, which kind of shocked me. So they start praying with her, and she goes insane. She was foaming at the mouth. She was yelling. And have you seen Bishop Long's presentations?
No, I can't say I have.
Okay. Well, he plays some audio and stuff of monks and their ability to like chant and stuff at different like voice levels that normal humans can't, hit.
Like guttural?
Different pitches and stuff. Yeah, like different pitches and stuff that normal people can't hit. Okay. This girl was making some of the most god-awful noises. I had Bishop Long on the phone, and I'm like, well, what is going on here? He's like, well, you need to stop them. And I'm like, well, it's too late now. It was bad. They continued going for a while. She finally calmed down. It was like a light switch went off. Like she just stopped moving, stopped talking. She was like that for probably 20, 25 minutes, and then she kind of came back to normal. And of course, somebody mentioned praying for her again. I'm like, no, you need to get out of here. I'm like, we're not praying for nobody right now. I'm like, you're leaving. But yeah, it was really weird. A few days later, we had the couple at the church. They wanted to do, they wanted to work on them at the church. This was kind of I don't know. I don't know if you've heard of Vineyard Church. That's who actually was working with us. The Catholic Church here in town wanted no part of it. They wouldn't. This family had actually went to the Catholic Church first, and she wouldn't come into the church. She sat on the sidewalk and like screamed, and the husband went into the church, boyfriend, and the father wouldn't even bother coming out. He's like, I don't want anything to do with it.
Okay.
So the Vineyard Church was one that had actually attended our paranormal events. They set up a booth at CiL-Con, and so we contacted them because they're the only other ones we knew that really embraced this sort of thing. Because most, a lot of churches don't, and so that's how they got involved. They don't call it exorcism. I'm trying to think of the term that they use for it.
Cleansing?
No, it's a big word. We'll just go with cleansing because cleansing sounds good.
Yeah. Sounds a lot better than exercising, right?
Yeah. It wasn't exorcism. It was deliverance.
Deliverance. Well, if I think about that, I think about dude sitting on a porch with a banjo.
Know, right?
Ding, 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 ding. Yeah. Doodling banjos.
Yeah. I probably wouldn't have been surprised had I heard that at this little event. But they took the guys separate. The guys took the guy. The girls took the girl. One man, I think, was in charge of me. Because he would not leave my side. It's like he was babysitting me to make sure I didn't get near anybody.
Okay.
That and preaching to me how I should be using my gift for God and not for what I do, and
Oh wow.
all that normal stuff. So the girl refused. She would not let them do anything with her, and she had her mother, her sisters were here with her. She refused, and the next day she disappeared and went back to Chicago.
Oh wow.
No one really knows what happened to her. Even the boyfriend never heard from her again.
Huh.
That's strange.
We still talk to him. Everything was fine. Everything stopped once she was gone. But he didn't even hear from her again.
Huh.
So it was just total. It was weird. There were so many things. There was physical, she was getting attacked physically. She was. I never witnessed personally her getting attacked. I usually would get the phone call. I was on the phone once when I heard the commotion, and then he dropped the phone and was freaking out, yelling in the background, and said that her feet had come straight out from underneath her, and she laid flat for about 2 seconds and then fell to the floor flat. So I heard that. I heard her screaming. I heard her in that weird tone yelling and talking in the background, and then we left and came over there, and by the time we got there, she was, back to normal.
Oh, wow.
It was strange. We spent so many hours there, and I don't know. It definitely was nothing that I had encountered before. And nothing I necessarily wanted to encounter again. I know demonic cases are so rare, so I hate to say for sure 100% that's what it was.
Well, I mean, it had to be.
We got no conclusion.
It had to be something if you're going to be talking in that type of verbiage.
Right.
And
it was tongues. It was different language. It was growly, just growly, gravelly. Foaming at the mouth. Saying horrible things. When you could understand what she was saying, it was horrible things. One of our teammates with us is Catholic. She even tried to get a hold of the father, and he wouldn't take her phone calls either.
Oh, wow. He said nope.
It's her minister. But she was saying the Lord's, or the St. Michael prayer in her head. And every time she would start doing it, the girl would look at her and, just start cussing at her. Like, you need to get out of here, you stupid,
Oh,
and then
yeah.
she'd stop and kind of back up, and she'd just go back to doing her thing. And then as soon as she would start it again, her head would whip around and look right at her and say, you need to leave.
Wow.
So it was like she could tell what she was doing in her head. It was scary.
That sounds like a demonic. I don't want to say oppression or possession.
Yeah, I would say. She wasn't 100% possessed because she could come out of it.
Then it'll be an oppression.
And she'd be herself, and she wouldn't remember what happened.
Okay, then it would be
an oppression. She would have no idea.
Yeah.
And then you would tell her, and she would get upset, and she'd be crying, and she would hugging my teammate and go, I'm so sorry, I never would have said that to you.
Wow.
And she would really be remorseful. So it was almost like an intermittent possession type thing. It was like she would just be out of control. Paranormal clergy and stuff always wanted a psych eval before they came in. One of the girls that was there praying for her is actually a social worker.
Okay.
In her day job, and she's like, she's not manic. She's like, this is not a mania situation. And I'm just like, I don't know what the situation is at this point, but there was other little things that happened with that case. It was probably the main reason why I stopped doing residential, because it was the first case that really, I guess, came home with me.
Yeah.
There was a lot of the stuff would happen down in the basement.
Of course.
Or she would be drawn to the basement. And he would come home and find her standing in the basement in the corner, just staring into the corner. So we were down there, and I truly believe if something's demonic or evil, they pick up on your fears.
Oh yeah.
And they play off your fears.
Yep, they dwell off.
We were down there. My fears are, I'm so scared of spiders and insects. I hate them. So we were down there, and there was these things on the wall, and my teammate Leslie, she's like, oh, those are, she called them sprickets. And I'm like, what the hell's a spricket? She's like, it's like a mix between a spider and a cricket. I think some people call them camel crickets or something.
Cave cricket.
Okay. And she's like, don't get too close to them, they'll jump at you.
Yep, they will.
Which is like the worst thing in the world to tell somebody who's scared of these things anyway.
Right.
So I'm like standing in the middle of the room, and I'm just like, I'm not going near any walls. Because it's bad enough, because they were just lined. The walls were lined with them. And I'd never seen them before. And, you know, I was just like, okay, I'm going to stand in the middle of the room. Well, that night, I, of course, dreamt about the stupid things.
Oh, jeez.
And I'm just like, that's just because, you know, you were scared of them and you're dreaming of it. The next day at work, none of the stuff I had with me at that house was with me at work. The next day at work, I walked into the bathroom at work, and there sat one of those things. And, of course, it totally freaked me out. And I'm like, okay, that was weird. Couple days later, I don't know what it is about the bathroom. I don't know if it's because that's where you're the most vulnerable. But I was in the bathroom, and I looked up. I thought I saw something move out of the corner of my eye. I looked up, and there was one of those on my bathroom door, on the back side of the door. So I'm sitting here going, I can't get past this thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, of course, I'm like petrified. I'm just like standing there and I'm like screaming, and you know, my ex-husband comes running, and then he's like, what is your problem? I'm like, kill that thing. And he's like, it's just a bug. I'm like, no, it's the devil. I'm like, it's Satan. You need to kill it. And he like, normally he would just like pick things up and take it outside.
Yeah.
And I must have been convincing, because he grabbed the closest thing and smashed it.
Damn.
And he's like, are you happy now? And I said, no, not really.
Because there's another one.
Satan's stalking me.
Well,
I'm like, the devil is stalking me.
Well, see, I'm kind of hard to believe that this actually can happen, but if you are afraid of something, you can actually make it manifest with your mind.
Yeah.
Because
and it was, you know, we once the case stopped, I never saw him again.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm fine with that. And then I was just like, you know, I had somebody call me one day about a case. They're like, would you help us with this case? And I turned, like, instantly in my mind, I saw one of those things.
Oh, jeez.
And I'm like, no, I don't think so.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm taking some time off.
Because see, I've
not seen one since.
And
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I've had a friend that's scared to death of snakes, and he basically is the same thing. You know, if he sees something out of his corner of an eye, he thinks it's a freaking snake. So he actually is so terrified of snakes, he manifested snakes to show up in his house. I'm like, well, hell, if that shit works, I want to sit there and think about $1 million. I want to see that manifest.
Right. God, if that only worked.
I know, right? How come it works for...
I am a firm believer in that manifestation can work. That it does work, but
it doesn't work on
it
money.
works to an extent.
It doesn't work on money.
No, I mean, it can help open opportunity, but with everything, and whether it comes from psychic readings or anything like that, you have free will.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, you could try to manifest $1 million, and it could tell, you know, in the back of your mind, you could be thinking you need to go get a lottery ticket, and you're like, nah, you're wasting money on a lottery ticket.
Oh, that's her.
And so you don't do it.
That's her.
Then maybe that was your $1 million. You know, I'm a firm believer that, you know, you can manifest things. Raising your vibration will help you manifest things. But, you know, you also have to trust your intuition. You also have to be on the lookout for opportunities. Nothing's going to just hand you $1 million.
Yeah, I was wishing...
I don't care what God you pray to. You know, none of them's going to write you a blank check.
Right.
You make $1 million? Sure you can.
Yeah, I was waiting for $1 million. She goes and buys a scratch off, and what'd she win? Just drop the 1 off everything. Take $1 million, but just drop the 1. That's what we want.
Yep. Yeah, that's what I would win too. So.
She's like, I feel lucky today. I'm going to buy a scratch off. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but you kept throwing negativity to me. Oh, you're not going to win. You're not going to win. You can scratch it all day long. You're not going to win. And I was like, well, just think of that. You just caused me to have no positivity on this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I usually, I mean, if I don't really like them because my mom was totally addicted to gambling and scratch-off tickets. I watched her waste so much money. Like $20, $30 a day on scratch-off tickets.
No. I buy one every payday. That's
Yeah,
about
so
as good as it gets.
Wait a minute. What, you buy one every payday?
Yes.
I've only seen you with one.
Yeah, because 9 times out of 10 I take
I'll be like, I should get a scratch-off. And I might buy a $2 one or whatever, but...
That's what I do. I buy a $2 or $3 one, and that's it.
But now she's
and
saying...
And if I get a $2 one, I'm happy about it.
Now
if I get my money back, I'm happy about it.
Right? Now she's telling me she buys one every day, and I only seen her buy one.
No, I said one every payday.
Every payday, yeah, but I only seen you with one, so you mean you've been scratching without me knowing?
Yep.
Okay.
I buy one, take it to work with me while the kids are sleeping.
Wow. Uh-huh.
Don't worry, if she wins a bunch, you might know about it.
No, I probably won't.
Whatever.
Might.
Well, there's been some times where it's like, I'm taking you to dinner. Where'd the money come from? Don't worry about it. So she must have won something on a scratch-off.
It was a scratch-off.
Uh-huh. I'm sitting there going, oh, wait a minute. You okay. Oh, wow. That's crazy. So, I got a question for you. We usually ask all of our guests this, and we've been getting similar answers when we've been getting some way out there answers, but here goes. How can an entity or a spirit have the ability to remember, see, and smell when it has no appendages? It's just energy.
Oh, well, I mean, it's because you're just a body. Your body is nothing. It's just a physical body.
It's a vessel.
Yeah, it's a vessel. Your soul, your soul is what keeps going. Your soul is the energy. Your soul, kind of like muscle memory. It absorbs that. It is who you are. Mm-hmm. When you die, it just moves on and changes form. Energy never dies. It just changes form. So it just keeps going, and so it's going to remember who it was, what it did. Same with past lives.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever you pull up past lives and you don't realize it, we all have things that, unusual fears that make no sense to us now, or, unusual talents that make no sense.
Right.
I don't have any of those, so I must not have been talented in any of my lives, but...
Well, what I came up with is, for like all the computer nerds out there, your, like you just stated, body's a vessel, makes sense. Soul is basically your hard drive.
Right.
So all of your information, all of your life, your memory is going to the brain, and of course when you pass on, it downloads to your soul. And that's how it stays. So everything that you have done, your memories, and you're really not going to be able to have a sense of smell, but you will remember the sense of smell because that's part of your memories.
If somebody tells you, I got a candle that smells just like chocolate chip cookies, you're going to smell that.
Mm-hmm.
You're not have the candle in front of you, but you know what chocolate chip cookies smell like.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if somebody says, I live by the cow farm and it really stinks today, you can not really visualize, but
I wouldn't want to visualize or smell that.
Right? But you know what that smell smells like.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same thing. Just the way if you were to lose your vision, today, you would remember what Paula looked like. You can't see her,
right?
But you'll know what she looks like.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same way.
Yep. Okay. Good answer. Second one's going to be fun. Why is it people are always seeing or communicating with entities from the Civil War instead of nowadays?
Oh, my.
That's my favorite one.
Well, first off, I'm going to say a lot of that, I don't want to say make-believe, but a lot of that is what people expect to see. That's what they hear about. That's what's publicized. You know, I'm going to go to Gettysburg and I'm going to see nothing but the same way with when we do investigations here at what used to be the hospital. Mm-hmm. Every time I see a nurse, I see a doctor. Do you? Or do you think you do because they're in a building that used to be a hospital?
Right.
You know, so I think that a lot of times spirit will manifest itself to look like what somebody expects, or necessarily what somebody expects, or what they will be comfortable with.
Okay.
You know, like, you may have a loved one that passed on and was in a tragic accident. You probably would see them normal, or what you're used to, mm-hmm. rather than coming back, you know, with their head half off, or
right.
You know, they're not going to show that to you. So I think that, you know, and I think a lot of it is just, you know, manifestation. You think that's what you saw. You know, you saw a shadow of something and you assumed that, because everybody always says there's Civil War soldiers or Indians. Mm-hmm. There's always Indians too. You know, that has to be what it is. There was Indians in Illinois, so it had to have been an Indian burial ground or something. No, it didn't have to. No, it could be, because I get this at the health department all the time. Like, well, was there an Indian massacre here? Was there? No, it was farmland, and then it was a hospital.
Oh God!
I don't have a horrible sob story for you.
Right.
I don't have this huge natural disaster. You can imagine all you want. Didn't happen. You know, is there probably patients and nurses roaming around in there? Sure. But there's also random people.
Right.
There's normal, everyday people who came in there and died. Mm-hmm. You know, I think a lot of it is just what people expect. So they see what they think they're going to see.
Okay. And have you ever been asked this question? How come nobody ever encounters a dinosaur?
Like a ghost of a dinosaur?
Yeah. Dinosaurs, cavemen, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. I never heard of any reported cavemen sightings.
I know, right? Well, I tell people, well, believe it or not, you actually are sometimes communicating with a dinosaur. And they're like, huh? I go, you know, when you get growled at, that's a velociraptor.
Right. I mean, it could be. No. Maybe, you know, maybe their little arms for the, you know, the T-Rex aren't long enough to reach this dimension.
Possible.
They just can't navigate the veil. They can't open it with their little arms.
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, you know, I'm not sure. You usually see ghost dogs and ghost cats. I've never really, you know, why not a unicorn? I want to see ghost unicorns.
Oh, my.
Or, I mean, any weird. I think a lot of it is, again, it's just that imagination aspect.
Mm-hmm.
You see that small thing, and your mind just, you know, you look up at the clouds and you see something.
Ooh, an elephant.
Oh, that looks like a bird. That looks like a fish.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same thing. You know, you can't make it out clearly, so you just, whatever it's shaped like, that you know,
yeah,
that you see, you recognize it as that.
Yep.
Whereas, you know,
the brain is a very powerful thing.
Yes, for sure. And now the next time I go to ghost hunting, and if I see a dinosaur, I'm going to blame you.
If you hear a growl, you're like, it's okay. It's a velociraptor.
It's a velociraptor.
Just call him Blue. It'll be okay.
Yeah. Just have to I'm gonna have to use that in the next investigation. Don't worry, that was just a velociraptor.
Yeah. So shh, don't get him mad. He'll chase you. Oh man. Well, we always ask that question, and sometimes we get some crazy answers. But hey,
I was gonna say, yeah. I mean, you just never know. I mean, I run the Psychics Unite group for Central Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
Add that to my bio. I forgot that part. And we have different meetings on different subjects, and we did one night on hybrids, and it became quite an interesting conversation.
Hybrid what?
There was some, hybrids are, for me, hybrids have always been someone that's interspecies between human and something else. So human animal, human demon, human angel, human alien. And it's always been one of those things that's kind of a sci-fi thing to me, but I try to keep an open mind.
Right.
Then we had a couple people who were very much into the alien, the aliens. And I learned a lot. Like, I learned about a website that you can go and donate your DNA to father hybrid children. And you can be impregnated by aliens.
Oh, God.
Yeah. I thought this website couldn't really exist, but no, it does. I admit, I went to check it out. I was just like, okay, you can be infused with alien blood as a blessing. It's amazing.
Is it blue?
Yeah, it's amazing. I say that kind of sarcastically.
Yeah. Okie dokie.
I think this might be one of the groups storming Area 51. I don't know.
That probably.
But, I'm one of those. I say, you know what? I believe that could they exist? Sure. I mean, a lot of people don't believe ghosts can exist, but spirits can exist.
True.
If we can hunt and talk to spirits and ghosts, then why not? But then when they get a little farther out there, then I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I can't stretch that far.
Yeah, no. I don't.
I can stretch that ET runs around trying to phone home.
I mean, I had a chemistry teacher in college.
You thought he was an alien?
No, he was obsessed with aliens. He even came up with a ping system. And he told us if we download the software on our computer and shows that he downloaded to connect to his system that's at the college, we would get 15 extra bonus points on our final. Yes, I downloaded it. Did I believe in it? No, but I got my 15 points for my final.
Did it work?
I don't know.
It's shooting a signal out into space, and you have to wait and see how long it takes for it to come back?
Yeah, that's basically what it is.
It never does.
I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Mom's like, what are you doing? I'm going out. I'm trying to pass chemistry.
I don't know. I literally had to check it out, though, because I was like, surely this isn't real.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And, it really was. I mean, I can find it and send you the link if you'd like to check it out and maybe father some hybrid children.
Oh, no, thank you.
No? Okay. All right.
Oh, man. I'm sorry, but I don't believe in UFOs until it actually lands in my backyard.
Right. And that's what I tell people about paranormal all the time. They're like, what do you tell people who don't believe in paranormal? That's fine.
Yeah.
You can believe or you can not believe. It doesn't matter. Until it happens to you.
Right.
And you experience it yourself, you have that choice. But once it does, does happen to you and you do experience it, you don't get that choice anymore.
Yeah. So, what do you think about the world's best hide-and-seek competitor?
Oh, Bigfoot?
Yeah. Dang, she knew exactly who I was talking about. Yep, him.
Again, kind of the same.
Cryptology.
Cryptology.
Yeah.
Do I think it's possible? Anything's possible. So have I seen it? Am I going to go? Well, honestly, I'm not going to go through the woods for anything. Bigfoot, deer, fluffy bunny, nothing.
It's a big fluffy bunny. Yeah.
Yeah, I always joke and say I'm the worst pagan ever because I don't do nature. I actually studied druidry, yet I don't like nature.
Wow.
So, yeah, go figure. So it, who am I to rule it out? I mean, I talk to dead people. So is there a cute, fuzzy, 8 foot tall, very sneaky guy? Maybe. I'd like to meet him someday.
You and me both.
But, he's going to have to come find me because I'm not going to go to the woods and find him.
Right? Just
there's
stand
mosquitoes
outside.
out there and spiders and nothing.
Just stand outside your door and say, Harry! Come live with the Hendersons.
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just call him the world's greatest hide and seek competitor.
Yeah.
I mean, dang.
And my sons used to talk about when anybody was talking about religious stuff. He would say, "You're talking about the invisible sky wizard,
yeah,
or the flying spaghetti monster." That was the two things he referred to all the time when everybody was talking about any kind of religion.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Needless to say, my kids are pretty much atheists.
Oh, jeez. Well, here's something to think about. I've been thinking about it, too, because I'm a huge Supernatural fan.
Mm-hmm.
And what are the chances that angels and demons and all those other weird monsters actually do coexist on Earth with us, and we don't know it?
You know what? Anything is possible. Anything is possible.
That's going to be our answer for the rest of the question. Anything's possible.
Right. I mean, to an extent, obviously.
I mean, you just have to think about that. That would be amazing that, you could actually have, I mean, kind of weird to put it this way. But
yeah. I mean, do I think Castillo is going to live next door?
Yeah.
No.
I was just about to say that.
But somebody who is very in tune with Castillo, maybe. But, I mean, I don't know. I mean, could they and us not know it? I mean, could vampires and werewolves and live next door to us? They probably could.
Yeah.
Especially in a society like today, we don't know who the hell lives next door to us.
Yeah.
We wouldn't, I mean, we could have a horrible, evil sexual predator next door and we would think they were the nicest person in the world.
True.
Because they hide. So could they? Sure. Maybe. Who knows?
I mean, I've been always thinking about that, going, that would be so cool that you want to meet someone and then you find out he's an angel of the Lord. And that'll, like, truly make you into a believer somewhat.
Yeah.
You'll be like, I don't know about that. And then all of a sudden you wind up meeting someone that's like Crowley, and it's like, okay, now wait a minute.
Yeah, right. Now, see, I know some people that I could easily see being like Crowley.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, some people you meet that you could easily see them being an operative of Satan. I mean, I have a cat that runs around here that I call Satan.
Oh, jeez.
Because I'm pretty sure she is a spawn of the devil.
Oh, Lord.
I call her that all the time. That's just her name, is Satan. But
his name is Stupid.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she could just be bipolar, but...
There you go. Could be that, yeah.
I don't know. Everybody says that she's just mad because I don't make her my familiar. That's like, that would be like admitting that I'm a bitch like her.
Oh, wow.
Oops, bad word. Bad word.
Oh, that's okay. We can say anything we want to say. It's my station. I can do whatever I want.
I was channeling my inner sailor.
Oh, is that what it is?
Sailor. God, I can't talk. Sailor.
Sailor?
Sailor, yeah, that's what I was trying to say.
Oh, okay. There you go.
it wasn't coming out right.
But yeah, I've always wondered that. I'm just like, that would be so cool.
It would be, yeah.
Wouldn't you like to have a friend that's an angel and one that's a demon?
Yeah, I think I would just probably surround myself with the evil ones.
She's looking at me. She looked at me and she goes, I don't know about that. I mean, that just something to think about. It'd be like, that would be interesting. Then, of course, things kind of bring you to, start thinking about things, and it's like really going off the deep end, down the rabbit hole, going, are we part of somebody's program? But we're in the Matrix.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure if demons do exist, they all hang out at Walmart.
At 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's where their hive is, or nest, or I don't know, portal to hell. Wherever they come from.
She said the portal to hell or the demon nest is at Walmart.
No, it's my job.
It's your old job? Real King?
Oh, God, yes.
Oh, damn. You heard it here, folks.
No, that's where Children of the Corn come from.
Oh, that's where Children of the Corn come from. That's a movie she won't watch.
Nope.
Weenie.
Nope. We drive through many friggin' boony friggin' towns on these weird back roads. No, I'm good.
Right. I live in that area, so, that's all I see.
Oh, our GPS puts us on an adventure every time we go someplace that we've never been before.
Like Arkansas?
Oh, God.
I got sick. I literally got sick.
It got us on this big, huge goose chase, and it was just one of those horrible driving experiences. Stuck me out on these one-lane country roads for miles.
S-curves that go up and down.
Yeah. Sounds like us when we were down there in Metropolis. We used GPS to find the mounds. The Kincaid Mounds, is that what it's called?
Yeah, I know where you're talking about.
Yeah, and so, for me, the mounds I'm used to is like Cahokia Mounds in St. Louis. It's absolutely huge.
Mm-hmm.
So we're driving out through the country, and of course it had flooded a few weeks before, so there was dead fish everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is not a good sign.
No, it smells horrible. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
2-lane, 1-lane country roads. Funniest thing I ever saw was there was a couple fishing in the ditch. I'm like, really? But we finally found it. We were a little disappointed once we finally found it and realized that it's like, ant hills.
I think so. Yeah, it's pretty well just a couple of hills in the middle of cornfields.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, this is it? Okay. But
wow.
Yeah, it was interesting. For sure.
I think so. If you go to the south, best thing to go to around here is Garden of the Gods.
I was about to say that.
If you go to Golconda, go to Garden of the Gods.
Yeah, we didn't get to go there. We went to oh my goodness, there's 2 other ones.
Cave and Rock?
Maybe it was like right off of the interstate on the way down to Metropolis.
Oh, I don't know. Any idea?
There's several. There's Ferncliff. There's the one big old huge thing that had all the pontoon boats in there that one time, and we honked at them. And they all waved back. When you're tired on the road, we do stupid shit on the road.
Yeah, there was a couple places we drove through and took some pictures. There's a lot of rocks and stuff. I'm trying to think of what it was called. Jamie probably remembers right off the top of her head, but I'm old. My hard drive don't work anymore.
Oh, jeez.
It has very slow recall. I need some more RAM.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you got to check out Cave and Rock. That place is pretty cool. They actually have a story there where they had pirates that would drag people in there and they'd kill them.
Oh.
Well, it was also a bar at one time. They actually had a bar. It had a bar in the front and a whorehouse in the back inside the cave.
Okay, so that basically is... should I say it? Liquor in the front, poker in the rear? That's pretty much what it is. Wow.
Oh, goodness. Well, I mean, you might be able to pick up some pretty good spirits there then.
I don't know. We went there. We didn't really get anything. It was kind of after a flood, so there was water and stuff in there. Did you hear the duck?
Yeah.
Did you
must
hear?
have washed away all the horror spirits.
Yeah. Did you just hear the duck?
No.
Yeah. We just heard a duck. And we don't have a duck.
Oh,
I
don't have a duck.
It's hilarious. We were talking to Doogie from the Tennessee Ray Chasers on one of our shows, and there was a chicken.
Oh, that was funny.
We all heard it, but he didn't hear it. And he goes, the only chicken I got here is inside my freezer named Tyson.
But yeah, we just heard a duck quack.
We just heard a duck quack. And even the cat pricked up its ears going, what the hell?
I don't have a duck. I have a dog snoring on the other side of the room.
Well, I know, but it came from our studio that there was a duck. What was the other one that we heard? Oh, it was that was when we were talking to Greg. We heard a woman's voice go,
Yeah. We've had interesting things. We've had something happen when we had Rick Cooper on.
Where his stuff got shut off.
Yeah.
That was
Every
funny.
time we talked about this one subject on the thing, all of our systems would shut down.
Yeah.
Or his phone would shut down. Or
he would get disconnected. Or he can't hear us. So we got off that subject and everything was fine. But when we go back to the subject,
And he said that's not the only time it's happened. It's happened when he's been on other podcasts and radios, and they bring up that subject about the story that he written in a book that was based on a true story.
Yeah.
And every time he talks about it, they would have equipment malfunction.
Oh, well. It's funny how that happens. Oh, goodness.
It's kind of crazy. All right, well, we got 10 minutes left of the show, and even though this has been your entire stage, you're on the floor, but let's go ahead and give our listeners info where they can find you, what events you're going to be doing. Well, we already talked a lot about CiL-Con, but let our listeners know how they can get in contact with you.
Okay. Well, I'll be at Spook Show Con in DeKalb, Illinois on August 17th. And then, of course, CiL-Con, I'll be at Ash Bash at Ashmore Estates October 11th through 13th. October 19th is KarmaKon. And then, hopefully in November, I'm going to be at that event you were talking about. So they can find me on Facebook. You can just find me by my name. Or you can look up my business name is Zitania Services. So it's Zitania. And that's actually my nickname.
Oh, okay.
That was my nickname I was given when I was like 10, 11, and I use it for my business name. I use it for my gaming name.
Oh, okay.
So if you just search Zitania on Facebook, you're probably going to get my personal page, my gaming page. Or you can go to Zitania.com and find me there. If you want info on CiL-Con, it's CiL-Con.com, or just find CiL-Con on Facebook. KarmaKon's on Facebook. Everything's on Facebook. You know how that goes.
Oh, yeah. Everybody lives on Facebook.
Right. That's about it. Yeah. Add me as a friend on Facebook. Send me a message. Don't send me any unsolicited pictures.
Yeah. So
throwing that out there. I see my share things.
Can you tell our listeners quite possibly who's going to be at CiL-Con? Some of the guests.
Oh boy, challenge my brain here. You will be there.
Woohoo! We're first. Yes.
Yep. Chad Lindbergh.
Okay.
He does a lot of paranormal stuff, but he's also was in Fast and the Furious.
Oh yeah. Yep.
He'll be there Friday night for a couple hours, and
Dr.
Saturday for a few hours.
Yeah.
He has events at Ashmore Estates during the evening. So, Christopher St. Booth, Rachel, Keith Age, Santiago Cirillo, Jeremy Ambler. another guy from Walking Dead, Coyote Chris Sutton.
All right.
Kelly McCarville. Let's see, who else? Scotty Rorick will be there.
Oh, okay.
I'm forgetting people. A lot of people.
And Sasha gonna be there?
We have,
who?
Sasha?
Sasha gonna be there?
Yeah. Sasha, Rebecca Smock is supposed to be there.
Stephanie Bingham? Did you get
Who?
Did you get Stephanie Bingham?
Stephanie, I have not. I need to try to get a hold of her. We've had a couple of cancellations, so I could probably work her out now.
Cool.
Yeah, so I'll have to send her a message.
Okay.
And we have, in the gaming center, we have the cosplay contest again on Saturday. We have Victory Born cosplay and Mars Stardust cosplay. Talk. We have 2 streamers from Twitch, Lifeless Prodigy and Spoderman, who will be down and streaming live and stuff during the day. Charleston Gaming Club is going to have their board games out and set up for everybody to play.
Cool.
Lakeland College will have their big VR studio set up.
Ooh.
Wrestling Friday night, an after party Friday night, a drink and draw. With some of the artists will be Friday night.
What's a drink and draw?
Drink and draw is basically what it sounds like.
Drunk Pictionary? Is Drunk Pictionary?
Kind of, yes. Actually, from what I'm seeing, it really is kind of like Pictionary. You're given a topic.
Oh, Lord.
And you're all supposed to try to draw something.
While you're drunk.
Affiliated with it while you're getting drunk, yes. Yeah.
Ooh, that sounds like
and it's
fun.
actually at Sweet Dreams, the hotel that
Well, at least
sponsors us.
I was going to say, at least it's at Sweet Dreams, so you get too drunk, you can just walk upstairs and drive anywhere.
Exactly, yes. And Sweet Dreams, by the way, is haunted.
Oh, okay.
If you did not know this, I probably we should have talked about that at some point, because we hold KarmaKon there in their convention center, and the last time we had KarmaKon in April, they invited us to check a couple rooms out. And one of them was in particularly creepy, not so much because of activity, but because of the fact we walked in, the TV was on, the lights were on, the bed was unmade. And I went back and I asked the manager, I'm like, are you sure this is the right room? And he said, oh yeah, they must not have cleaned it yet. He just died yesterday.
He just died yesterday?
Jesus.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I went back and I told everybody that this is the way the room was when he died. Those clothing tags on the bed were his. The beer bottles were his. That's what he was watching on TV. So it was a little different. But, yeah. But yeah, the drink and draw and the after party Friday night are at Sweet Dreams. They have a nightclub in there now. Hotel rooms are booked for $59.99. And there is still some available, so just give them a call and use the CiL-Con name or KarmaKon name too, because KarmaKon is there too in October.
Okay.
And then Saturday night there's after party at Joe's again.
Woohoo!
Yep, and then there's also
I hope we don't have to hear that Pokemon.
Investigation.
I hope we don't have to hear that Pokemon song. Oh my God.
No. There's an investigation Saturday night too at the health department with Tim Miley, James Anito, myself, and Madison Smith. Paranormal will be there. I'm not sure who else will be there. Chris Thrasher will probably be there.
Madison is the first young paranormal investigator, right?
She's the first popular one.
Yeah, she's making a name for herself.
We actually had a 10-year-old on our paranormal team.
Oh wow.
Yeah. He's an adult now. Makes me feel so old. He's like 17, 18. I'm like, oh my God. I'm so old. But yeah, he actually was really good. We wouldn't take him everywhere, obviously, but we would take him places we knew that were fairly safe, and he's really good. I actually took a group of Girl Scouts through the health department one night.
Oh wow.
We had a Girl Scout ghost hunt.
Interesting.
But it was that. I mean, we really didn't have to do anything other than turn out the lights, and they were scared. So.
Click.
I mean, it worked, but
Turn the lights off and go, it's behind you.
right,
well.
yeah, it was. It was not too hard. They were scared as soon as the lights went off, so it was just kind of, it was fun though, for an hour or so.
Oh, yeah, I'll bet.
After that, 30 girls between the ages of 10 and 16 made me rethink the choice. But,
All right, then. Well, we're at the end of the show. We enjoyed having you on the show. It's been...
thanks for having me.
Oh, you're very welcome. We're glad to have you on the show. It's very informative. We now learned about what Reiki is, and crystal, and energy healing, and intuitive medium, and all that fun stuff. Now you're going to go around talking about the I Reiki the leaves. So
Right.
I'm going to do that too.
Reiki the leaves.
I'm going to Reiki.
You're going to have to think of a good metaphor for that and explain Reiki. It's like I'm taking a rake and I'm raking through your energy to get it all flowing.
Yep, I'm raking it all into a pile.
Yep.
Oh,
born in
wow.
that future. You don't need anymore.
So, all right, well, we will see you September 6th and 7th at CiL-Con, so hopefully everybody remembers that. CiL-Con will be in Mattoon, Illinois, so come on out. We will all be there. You can possibly hang out with Dr. Badass, which is Chad Lindbergh.
Right. Check out the Facebook page because there's a guest being posted every day now up until the event.
Cool.
So they're already scheduled. So.
All right. Well, until then, you have yourself a great rest of the night, and we will see you in September.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
The Phantasmic Journey Podcast is brought to you by Tascam and Amazon Studios. For more than 30 years, Tascam has developed products for every segment of the sound and music industry. From the high-end audio professional in a major post-production studio to the novice of hobbyist at home, Tascam is everywhere. They are a company committed to providing their customers audio and video solutions that enable breakthroughs by using sound in ways that are exciting as they are accessible, even recording the voices of the dead. You asked for a non-scripted paranormal TV show. You begged for a non-staged paranormal TV show. You begged and you pleaded, and we have listened. We present to you Season 1 of The Paranormal Journey into the Unknown. It was released October 31st, 2017. In this series, we show you what it's like behind the scenes and conducting a real paranormal investigation. Join Gavin Kelly and Philip Purcell and their special guests to seek out the existence of life after death by going to numerous haunted locations such as jails, hospitals, battlefields, and museums, collecting compelling evidence by means of video, photography, and EVPs. In this season, the crew investigates the St. Albans Sanatorium, Old South Pittsburgh Hospital, Jailhouse Pizza, and the famed Monroe House. And you can watch Season 1 of The Paranormal Journey into the Unknown on Amazon.com right now. Season 2 and 3 will be coming soon.